I am very excited to have my next guest join us. She just dropped a brand new album called The Vandalist. It is Noga Erez. Noga,
Hi.
welcome. How are
Thank
you?
you. Thank you, Pete. Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm not as, I don't know, in a fun position as you. I see you're in your car right now, and I guess you're being whisked away to various fun places.
Yes, I'm just doing all the fun things while doing interviews.
That's so awesome. Congratulations on this album. I mean, I think this is a real juxtaposition because your artistry is clearly just so fantastic. It resonates with so many people. It's interesting and it's always pushing boundaries. And here you are shopping for toilet paper.
Exactly. Thank you so much for saying that.
But
I have all this car available for that.
amazing. So yeah, the album, it's so good. I've been listening to it nonstop. We're speaking here just shortly after the release. So give me some information with regards to where the seed for this was planted and how it's kind of blossomed into this amazing piece of work.
I guess that we were so I released an album called Kids over 3 years ago. That's a long time. And Kids went really well. And it took me around the world and got me to see many different places and meet many different people. Um, and I think that I really wanted my next album to just be a little bit better. I think I was able to set my expectations there instead of wanting to make an album that is better than this or that. The only thing that I needed to compete was Kids, my previous album. And it was hard, tough competition because Kids was very dear to me because of what it is and also because of where it led me. Um, so that was kind of the seed planted, and the seed planted led to a lot of exploration and frustration and a lot of hit and miss game with music.
Hmm.
But here I am, more than 3 years after. It was supposed to be released in March, and lots of things happened that didn't allow that. I'm really happy that it's out. I'm so like it feels this time like it's the right time.
This, from what I understand, is commentary, thoughts, uh, little snapshots of what you were thinking and what your perception was with regards to the society, living life online, living life in person, and trying to find that balance. Was there
Yeah.
something in news in your life that spawned that theme?
I mean, many things happened throughout the course of the 2+ years that we worked on the album. I think COVID for us was a big transition. I think that for many people it was a moment of reflection, and for me, in a weird way, it was the moment that I kind of came out with my music and more people got to know me. I really got a moment during COVID because of people's attention, and I think it's not it doesn't surprise me because the music that I make is very layered. There are many elements to it, and for some people, it sounds even a bit complex. For me, it's just like I try to make music that you can listen to many times and always find something new or always find a new perspective in. The 3.5 years that I've been through have been just radical, just very, very crazy. Crazy amount of fortune and success and beautiful things have happened to me, and I felt the most blessed I've ever been and so inspired. But also, the past year has been really rough um in my home country, which is Israel. We all know what that is about, and that influenced that as well. I think that I just kind of feel like life has become more extreme and that the scale is has widened so much, so it requires me to cover more more emotions and more colors in myself.
You said in the past that you don't shy away from conversation and topics that relate to your citizenship, your country, where you were born, where you live, and so forth. But at the same time, you want your art to stand on its own. And it's kind of one of those things where it affects your life. It affects what you're thinking, what you're going through. So how can it not, right?
Yeah,
You said that even events of the last year were influential and informed a lot of this music. So I take it that this really ran up to the wire in a sense.
definitely. And I think I never wanted to shy away from, taking that story that I have with me, even though that for some people, just the fact that I come from Israel can be like, okay, you know, and I just I don't want that to define who I am as an artist, because that is not what defines me as an artist. But at the same time, I think that even more today than ever, because there's such a huge I've experienced so much hate and rejection, um, just because of the fact, just because of where I come from and what people think about the place that I come from, and the actions of the government and etc. I feel like it is not a topic that I could ever shy away from, because it is something to talk about. At the same time, it's it's been almost a year. It's just everything is still very much happening. It's devastating and things are very much happening. And I kind of feel like I wish I could process things like that so quickly that I had something smart or insightful to say. I feel like people all over the world are giving their insights about what is happening, and I am kind of, in the middle of it and experiencing it in the most physical way possible, and I don't have anything to say. I don't have any insights, and it's just so extremely overwhelming. And yeah, so I'm still kind of figuring it out, as you can probably hear.
1,000%. I definitely empathize with you because it seemed like ever since the pandemic started, it's really put us in silos because we find tribes. Humans, I think, are very tribal, so we tend to gravitate toward people and thoughts and ideas that we align with. And then you find others that think that and look the same way, and then all of a sudden it just mushrooms into something.
Yeah,
It started off with the George Floyd incident, right? And then as time went on, myself, Asians, we were being attacked and being blamed, a lot of events and violence here in America.
yeah.
It's like shifting. What songs were mostly informed during this period?
um So we have the song Godmother, where we have the singer Eden Benzaken featured, and it's a song that we worked on for most of the album. So we started it when we started working on the album, stopped, and then came back to it, and then finished it probably last when we just finished the album. So it kind of has everything in it. It's a song about identity, exactly what you're talking about, and also how identity such a huge can play such a huge role in what you are and who you are, but at the same time you can be attacked for it, and how that becomes really messy when you're trying to be a part of something, but that something, tells things about you, for some people. So that is one thing that I was able to complete, um and then we have Come Back Home, which is a love song that we wrote 2 months before October 7th, and we completed it 1 month after Hamas's attack on Israel. And it's a song about waiting for your loved one to come back. So none of the songs were written post October 7th, but some of them uh, came to completion after, in the best way creatively possible, but in the most unfortunate circumstances.
Was there ever a moment where you wanted to take a step back and write more and include music that could be informed by the current events?
I think I'm about to say something that many artists who have been through similar things would relate to. I could not write anything at the beginning. It was just something that was not even on my mind. Even though, I mean, the short answer would be no. Like I still was not able to have a full idea established around that and make that into something. I had to hold on to things that I had before and then complete them in light of the new reality and all the new things that I've learned and experienced. I spent 3, 4, 5 months since October 7th performing in crazy situations to people who had just been through like hell. Met people in many situations, and I slowly rediscovered the power of music because of that. But it took that time for me to be able to come back to any sort of creativity.
Is there a song on the album or a handful of songs that you feel really represents the Vandalist? And well, before we go there, what is Vandalist? What does the Vandalist represent?
I think that the Vandalist is me. I'm the Vandalist. And but also it's a part of me. Um yeah, there's a lot of self-definition in this album and um self-inquiry. And I think that the part of me that I like to call the Vandalist is the part that instead of taking the path of sadness and frustration of how the world seems unfair sometimes, it takes the path of you, and I like that because there's something very empowering about that, but it's not always who I am. um I think the Vandalist is kind of like a part of me that can hold this very strong defense mechanism, because I am eventually very sensitive and things really touch me. And I think that trying to be badass about it every now and then or just joke about it is a healthy way to go about things. That's what I'm trying to be.
Really appreciate the time. This is just an amazing album. I'm a big
Thank you
fan.
so much.
I'm a big fan
Thank
of you.
you.
So, but yeah,
Yeah,
thanks so much for the time.
thank you. And I really hope that we find ourselves speaking again in a better world, in a world of peace, without all the suffering and sadness and agony that we have around us. I really wish that for all of us, every single one of us.
Tell me about it.
So,
I take that to heart, and I wish the same as well. So, congrats on the
okay.
album. Really appreciate
Thank you
the
so much,
time.
Pete.